Hello, Earthlings. Welcome to North Station, where there are two Duncans within 30 yards of each other. Anyway, today, Sunday, I visited Reading, Massachusetts to look at some of the beautiful fall foliage. Interesting story about how I discovered Reading. Basically, my first year at Berkeley, I would occasionally ride the commuter rail just for fun. And one of the first times I did it, I wanted to ride basically the length of the Haverhill line all the way and back. But I really had to pee, so I figured, screw it, I'll just get off in Reading. And it's one of the best accidents that's ever happened to me, because while I was waiting for the train back to Boston, I figured I'd walk around, and I saw some beautiful colors on the trees, much like the ones you're seeing here. Alright, it's Monday night now, and I'm working on my jazz comp midterm, which is basically to take a standard and reharmonize it using a three-tonic system at one point, which is where you divide the octave evenly and use basically three evenly spaced keys, or four, all as tonics equally, basically, like John Coltrane did in Giant Steps. We actually looked at one such reharm he did, but not for me. Anyway, I'm doing a similar thing to Over the Rainbow. Harold Arlen is probably turning in his grave. If he is, it means I've done the assignment right. So I thought it might be a laugh for you to hear what part of it sounds like. Alright, it's Wednesday evening now, and I don't think I filmed anything yesterday, but my Over the Rainbow arrangement and destruction and resurrection and some other words to describe that went over really well. Today in 20th Century Women Songwriters, Suzanne Dean, who teaches the class, brought in Nicole Z, a singer that she's worked a lot with, and Nicole brought in Liz. I forget Liz's last name, but they're in a folk band together, and I'm about to head to another jazz comp seminar. Alright, it's Thursday now, and it's raining again, and my school day is just about to begin, because it's midterms week and there are no ensembles, so I have nothing before 4, although my day ends at 10, because that's when the African diaspora class ends. Well, it's a lot later now. I'm headed to music at the African diaspora, but in Indian music techniques, we basically talked about different tempering systems. We listened to some Terry Riley pieces where you can really hear, because he works in just intonation, where one key sounds really good, and then the other keys sound progressively worse. And we also listen to some Indian music. It wouldn't be Indian music without it. We also listen to a guy, I think Hans Andre Stam or something like that, playing Bach's Toccata and Fugue using Bachian temperament, which isn't the same as equal temperament. There are some chords that sound really bad in that temperament, just a few. That was fun. And in African diaspora, we're going to be talking about the 60s. We had to listen to a podcast that was talking about Blowing in the Wind versus A Change Is Gonna Come, and compared them a bit. It's also raining pretty heavily. Alright, the African diaspora class just got out. We were talking about a lot of things, mainly 60s protest things like Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, and Mississippi Goddamn, and To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. and Sam Cooke. We listened to him singing Were You There, and Change Is Gonna Come. We also talked about what it means to sound white. Funnily enough, I shared an anecdote about how I saw the Arctic Monkeys at the Agganis Arena about 2 years ago, and they played Do I Wanna Know, which starts out with a clap on 2 and 4, and the woman sitting beside me clapped on 1 and 3, which made me assume, probably correctly, that she was the mother of a fan. Some people would call that clapping white, which is ridiculous, because for one thing, she's Asian. But still, how do you clap wrong on a song with a clap? And then we watched a video of Sam Cooke singing You Send Me on the Dick Cavett show, and the people were clapping wrong. He was saying, You send me, and they were clapping like, You send me. Alright, it's Friday now. We are well into the Carole King section of the 20th Century Women Songwriters course. I never realized how similar her writing style was to Stevie Wonder's, musical and lyrical, but I'm about to walk to acoustics class through the pouring rain, if you couldn't tell from my hood. Alright, it's a lot later now. I think the rain let up. I don't know if it's going to continue into Saturday. Hopefully not the whole day, because I'm seeing Temples tomorrow night. Same place I saw Sloan, the Brighton Music Hall. That should be good. They're kind of the princes of psychedelic rock at this point. Even though they've released one album, they're gearing up to release another next year. From what I've heard of a few songs teased from that album, it's gonna be a lot less 60s sounding than their debut album, which is good. And it's also going to be group written, because their first album was written by half the band, and then the other half was brought along to perform live, basically. But definitely looking forward to that. Go forth and be awesome.